It's 6:15 and we just got almost 2 inches of rain yesterday, inch and 5/8 ish. So that means the that means the weeds are gonna explode. So there's a ton of work on our farm, and typically what happens, we start off our production week on Monday after we close our sales week and billing and all that kind of stuff on Sunday evening. So what we typically do, or what I typically do, is look at my schedule. And my schedule really, I've spent a lot of time in the winter organizing this schedule so that I don't have to think about what I'm doing on a daily basis. I have an action plan so that instead of, well, what are we doing? We know exactly what we're doing. And the rhythm of the season, once it gets rolling, it can get away from you super quick. You can see all the dishes in here from our sales. We're really at the peak of our growing season and our sales season here on the farm. And there's a lot of pressures. There's a lot of things to manage. There's a lot of moving parts. So we have to be organized. We have to use our time extremely wisely. We have to really make sure that we're not wasting any motion. And what I mean by that is we have to really think about how we're moving through our day. And those little things add up. I mean, if we're dragging a hose through to water, every motion counts. And if we have to unravel a hose, that costs us time, and that time is valuable because time is money. And it's really important, especially on a small operation like this, where we're doing all of this work. We're not hiring out a bunch of work to a bunch of outside people, because we're trying to keep this operation in our family. So the boys and Heather's dad, Ralph, we all kind of manage it together. So my chores are going to start with watering. So I'm going to get on to watering for the day. That has to be done every day because the nursery has to be kept alive. So I'll take you out there and we'll take a look at the nursery. So here we go into the propagation house. So the nursery has to be watered on a daily basis. There's a lot of things in here that need to go out today. All these winter squash are going to go out into the gardens. Probably not today, probably tomorrow, but we still need to give them water. When it's hot, we got to water in here sometimes 2, maybe 3 times a day, depending on how crazy hot or dry it is. When it's more humid, it's not that big of a deal. We've got a project here, this shade cloth. I've been wanting to get this in on the north side. You can see this lettuce here. This lettuce grows a lot better when it's got some shade, and right now there's a ridge cap on the roof that shades this part of the lettuce. So the stuff on the south side of this bench always grows more vigorously. So I want to get that shade cloth up on this north side, especially because our microgreens business is starting to really take off, and this is where we keep our microgreens. And they do a lot better if they don't have direct sunlight, because we'd have to water these 4 or 5 times a day, especially when sometimes it can be 90 degrees in here. Even with the ventilation fan, it builds a lot of heat. So if we can get that up and cool that down, but it's all about production. And right now, there's just so many things happening that we're trying to juggle literally 8,000 things in a day, and we have to just do our best to manage what we can manage. And really, there is no control over any of this stuff. There's only management. So it's a mental game just as much as it is physically demanding. And sometimes that mental game is hard. It's hard to play. There's constant pressure. So hopefully you guys will be able to see how we manage that. And hopefully we don't melt down. Sometimes it happens, especially if we're under the gun. So I'm gonna get watering, and while the boys and Grandpa are up on the hill ripping out the Salanova for us to transplant.
So Hawk, what are you doing right now with the squash?
I'm harvesting the squash and zucchini, and it rained a lot, so they're really big, and so this is too big. You want the size to be like the knife.
So right now we've finished ripping out and cleaning up the Salanova. We've got Ralph's finishing up down on this bed, transplanting, and the boys are dropping. So that's Salanova for this week. I'm taking the hose and the wand back down to the barn, and then I'm gonna meet the guys for lunch, and then we're gonna regroup and see what is on our schedule for the rest of the day. So what I did is I mowed down 2 beds here. One was broccolini and the other one was a mixed crop of I think it was cilantro and some cabbages that we just harvested, and I mowed those down to the ground. Now what we're gonna do is prep these beds. Ralph and the boys are gonna broad fork these beds, which provides deep aeration. We'll show you that process in a minute. And then our winter squash are gonna go here. There's 3 more beds on the other side of this greenhouse and the Roma tunnel where we're gonna put winter squash too. Ralph is gonna be using the broad fork to deep aerate and decompact these beds. Works with us about 20 hours a week, Ralph is Heather's dad, so in case you guys don't know that. But basically, the broad fork provides a loosening of the soil. That's really the only type of tillage that we do here on the farm, is using the broad fork. And the great thing about the broad fork is that it leaves the soil column intact without disturbing it too much, because we want the earthworms to stay in there, we want the biology to be undisturbed. And then we're going to compost 2 inches on each of these beds. We are open 2 days a week. We're only open Fridays 2:30 to 6:30 and Sundays 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We don't go to farmers markets. We made a decision early on, Heather and I, that we really didn't want to drag all of these bins and all of our produce down to Chicago or wherever it is, and basically spend a whole day in crazy traffic, parking tickets, whatever else. Then, it's that would destroy our production schedule for the rest of the week. We're working only in a small crew. There's only the boys, Ralph, myself, and Heather when she's home. But these guys are doing the farm dishes. Look at Asher. This is the kid behind the YouTube channel. Anyway, these guys are doing the dishes. There's sanitizer inside this tank, so once the dishes are done, those dishes will be ready for wash pack at the end of the week when we get into our harvest and wash pack production cycle. These guys are going to continue on this. After Ralph leaves and I finish lunch, then we're going to attack the beds for prep for summer squash. So it's about 4 after 4, and I'm gonna still keep working on the composting these beds here for the winter squash. We're gonna kick off early tonight. We're gonna go have some fun with some friends of ours. We're working on Independence Day tomorrow to stay independent. I'm gonna keep cooking, and we'll get back at you in a minute.